Hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here. So I am at Sound Exchange in Wayne, New Jersey. Anthony Coviello and Stephanie, co-owners of the store here. We got to get Stephanie on camera here sometime so you guys can meet her and see her as well. You know Anthony through and through. I've got Vito joining me, who came in while I was here shooting with Anthony. And he said he has a bone to pick with me.
Yeah, so it started with your hated albums in your collection, or not so favorite albums in your collection.
Hated albums, and it's a little tongue-in-cheek because I don't truly hate those, as I said, within it. There's just some of it makes me cringe.
Yes.
And one of those that I said that on turns out to be one of your absolute favorites.
Yes, which was Motley Crue's Generation Swine.
Yeah, and for me, I did enjoy it back in the day. But I go back to it and I try it over and over since that time, and it just sounds forced.
Yeah, it's definitely a different album from them. They were just getting back together, and I guess maybe with the grunge music going on at that time, they tried something different. But to me, it was still Motley.
Yeah, there's still an element of it that is Motley, absolutely. I think anytime Nikki Sixx is writing that stuff, no matter who's influencing them, right? That was Scott Humphrey that co-produced or produced that with them on it. But it was just the drum samples, the backbeats, that kind of stuff in it that really rubs me the wrong way now.
Yeah.
But again, at the time, man, I was all over that song "Afraid."
Yeah, and that was like Tommy. Tommy was always off doing another thing in his own mind.
Right. And so he was bringing a lot of that to it. And again, that was very popular at the time. But the thing that kills me about that album, I already talked about this in the video, but I just want to reiterate it here, was Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee taking vocals.
Loved it.
Absolutely hated it.
Loved it.
Nikki Sixx sounded awful. It was so strained. And then Tommy Lee singing about his son just sounds weird.
I'll give you that.
Calling it Brandon, at least call it my son or something that could make it universal for everyone. But to name it after your kid, it's like, I
get it.
It's specific, too specific. How am I supposed to enjoy that?
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, I hate songs that are a name of a person.
Get it. Totally get it. So we kind of elevated our conversation, and we started saying, well, what's your favorite or one of your favorite albums?
Before we get into that, you said one of the all-time best Crue songs is,
for me, was A Rat Like Me off of Generation Swine.
I fucking hate that song, and I just don't understand that. So you got to explain it to me.
I just love the melody of it. It's snotty. It is
Motley.
Snotty. It's everything Motley would write.
I just started to really dislike all the punk-leaning things that they did where they got away from the hard rock side of who they were. I know they had that element, certainly.
Yes, when you go back to Too Fast for Love, it was
a lot of that.
Punk album. It
was a glam rock infused punk
but
album.
It was a punk album at its core. And
I love the rawness of that album. In fact, since we're talking about it here, man.
And with A Rat Like Me, soon as they start off, can you smell sarcasm on my breath?
Good lyric, good line.
It's Motley. You could have put a disco beat over it, and it would have been Motley.
No, see, I hear what you're saying about lyrically. Absolutely. And again, anytime Nikki Sixx is involved doing that stuff. But the music of it, it's the music. If you take one aspect, music or lyrically, out of it, to me, it's not what it is, right? That's me.
No, I get
So
it.
it's like you take out the hard rock, bluesy guitar playing of Mick Mars and you replace it with sampled loop things. And yeah, Mick is going over that, but his input onto that album and his amount of lead or fills or whatever, very minimal.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
So it's like, is this a Nikki Sixx solo album that he got his best friends to play on? That's how I feel.
Yeah,
and I know you'd say no.
And I get it. Maybe for me,
yeah,
back at that time,
right,
it was Motley's back. And it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It didn't matter to me. They were back
exactly
to their core, what they should have been.
4 guys coming back, making a reunion album. I was in.
So maybe I still hold on to that today.
Yeah.
You know?
And it had the remake of Shout at the Devil, right? Shout 97, and they had released that as a single. And I thought if the rest of the album had sounded that good, I would have been in for it. But I did feel that it did. That some of the stuff is so, to me, unmemorable.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I can sit here and list song like Generation Swine.
That's a good one.
Afraid.
But the opening track on there, Find Myself.
Okay,
I hate the little kid at the end screaming.
Nikki's kid.
Yes. I'm like, God, it needed some editing.
Yeah,
heavy editing. Needed Bob Rock in there.
it's hard for me because
Yeah.
there's really, for me, it's not
Right.
much I don't like about it. We agreed on Brandon.
Right.
We agreed
okay,
on that.
thank goodness. Somebody
You know,
agrees with me on that one.
We can take that one off. I get maybe what he was trying to do.
I do,
but,
and I understand.
it shouldn't have been on that. It should have been on a Tommy Lee solo album.
Or it could have been a bonus track. I mean,
Yeah.
the point was Vince Neil comes back and he doesn't sing on 2 of the tracks. That just irked me.
Yeah. Well, and I think maybe some of that had to do with Karabi was really still in the band
I
when
know.
he started doing that.
Yeah, he was playing rhythm guitar
Yeah.
in there, and he was even going to co-sing.
I think they started doing the vocals with
Right.
Karabi, and then when they brought Vince back, it was just really Vince probably going over all the melodies.
Yeah,
He wasn't.
and maybe he
involved.
couldn't do those two.
You
I mean,
know.
there's certain song styles that he can't
Yeah.
sing, and they said, well, Karabi's not here, and Tommy and Nikki were going to do
Yeah.
those particular songs. And look, it was kind of cool. I mean, they were trying to become a multi-vocalist band.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the way they went about it was wrong. It shouldn't have been on the reunion album kind of thing, but
I agree.
Let's move on to the other category. or
Okay,
the other
so
albums.
I don't
right?
even
So-
know how we got onto it, but I think you would mention one of your favorite
Yeah,
albums is
so-
Feel Good.
Right, well, yeah, because you started off by saying that you disliked that album.
I did.
Right, and I was like, oh my God, that's my favorite album. But like you were talking nostalgia-wise, that was my first album. That's when I got it in 1989. I was in 8th grade, man. That was the coolest thing around.
What I loved about the album, and I'll never take it away. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I like some of the songs,
yeah.
but as an overall product of Motley Crue,
Right.
not my favorite.
Okay.
And I think sonically amazing. Sonically, Bob Rock did a hell of a job.
Yeah, right?
Just some of the
I
songs
mean, the
were
sound
good,
of the drums on there alone.
but I guess maybe leading up to it, they had all these guest singers on it. They were
Guest singers? What do you mean?
Well, they had
Or, like the background people.
Yeah, they had like everybody
Jack
from
Blaze
Cheap
was on
Trick
it,
and
right,
every,
yeah.
you know.
Right.
And I think it was just more. It was just so commercial for me.
It was very, yeah.
Some of the songs, you said "Kickstart My Heart." You'd be okay if you never heard that.
Yeah, I'll
again.
be okay if I never hear that. But
And-
same old situation, which you said you don't want to hear.
I don't.
Every time that comes on, I can listen to it.
Yeah.
I love that tune.
Yeah, there's the couple songs on it I can't listen to.
Right. So what was one of those?
What was that one? It was "Without You." I can't
okay.
stand.
But you said Slice
Slice
Your
Your
Pie.
Pie.
I love that song.
I dig "She Goes Down."
Yeah.
But
fucking
then we
her
start.
laugh alone
Yeah.
on that is just
Then I-
absolutely classic.
Then I think Anthony had mentioned "Feel Good" is better album than "Girls, Girls, Girls."
Yeah.
and that's
In
when
my opinion, 100%.
And then,
Yeah.
and then I chimed in, "No way."
And we don't have Feel Good, but here's Girls, Girls, Girls. And I don't know, man. This one here was that one that sounded too commercial and polished to me. It didn't sound like them.
Really?
Yeah, Dancing on Glass. They brought in the gospel
Yes.
background singers. I just can't stand that. Nana, that little instrumental acoustic
Nona?
thing.
I think that was
Nona?
Nicky's version of.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
N-O-N-A?
From his grandmother.
No, yeah.
God, this whole time I
the
thought it was
Italians.
Nana.
Yeah, Nona.
N-A-N.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So
I
I think
was
that was-
today years old.
I think that was Nicky's version of Brandon back in the day for his grandmother.
Well, at least he didn't sing. At least he
Yeah.
let Vince do it. There's a longer version of that that's a lot better. I guess
Yeah.
it's the bonus track. And that's another complaint. Is just they've been reissuing these and removing those bonus tracks. And one we talked about was Rodeo.
Yes.
Oh, that's one of their best songs
I
ever.
love it.
Hands down, I love that song.
Yeah, and then that's how we got into. Well, okay, let's go song for song and see which album's better, Feel Good or
Dr.
Girls.
Feelgood.
Feel Good, hands
Now
down.
Anthony thinks
Right.
Feel Good.
Oh yeah, Feel Good, 100%.
And I'm all in on Girls.
Mike, what do you
Okay.
think? Dr. Feelgood or Girls, Girls, Girls?
Girls, girls, girls.
So it's
Really?
And I'm not even a Motley
I was
Crue
going to say,
fan.
you're not a Motley fan. You can't ask him that.
So
It'd be like
it's the
asking Mitchell.
So, I mean,
Okay, Jailhouse Rock live ending it. The worst thing they could have done, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean,
It's an
It's a
awful,
filler song.
It's a total filler
It is.
song. And it's after You're All I Need, so we don't even end on a high note. It just goes down after Something for Nothing.
I
Goes
agree.
down like she goes down.
Agree.
Ah,
But
it's just a
we can do
great
that.
song.
That we could. Well, that's a full song, really. But if we did, okay, you got
Okay.
Wild Side.
Yeah.
All right. So
That
we
is fucking great.
can, okay. So if you were to match up Wild Side with Dr. Feelgood, the
As in-
song.
Okay. Oh, Wild Side, I'll take hands
Okay.
down over.
So
okay.
Wild
Wild
Side
Side.
Wild
As
Side
a-
versus Feelgood as singles.
I would take the song Wild Side over anything
Okay.
on Dr. Feelgood.
Wild Side's a fucking great song.
It is just one of the absolute greatest
Okay.
songs in hard rock ever.
Fair enough. Now you got Girls, Girls, Girls.
Which I still love, but
The song.
Anthony, you don't, right?
It's good, but it's It's of its time. It's not a bad song. It's a good song. It's just,
Very much.
for me, it's fucking corny.
It's 1988 Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
And you can sing about that and do that at that time.
But
it's
you
a
still can, but I just,
Yeah.
the song just, it didn't get me then.
right.
It didn't get you then, but it's
I'm not denying it's awesome.
it's
Right.
It's a classic song that will live on in strip clubs forever.
Yes, forever.
Forever.
That's right.
You know?
It's like their version of a Christmas song. They'll always get royalties off of Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, here's a so Slice Your Pie wasn't a single,
No,
just a
but
track.
it's a great track. in my
Okay,
opinion.
and then
I think it's
if
better
I-
than Dancing on Glass.
And I disagree.
I know.
I think Dancing on Glass is great. The lyrics are dark on Dancing on Glass.
But you think Dancing on Glass is a better track than Wild Side or Girls, Girls, Girls?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, just a good track off
I'm,
of this
I'm
album.
comparing song for song. So if I were to go first single, Girls, Girls, Girls versus Dr. Feelgood, those were the first
Dr.
singles.
Feelgood would be better.
Feelgood.
wins.
Totally agree.
God, that bass line and it kicks in with the drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
Man.
second single off Feelgood was Kickstart.
My Heart, yeah.
And the second single off Girls was Wild Side.
Yeah.
See, I would go Kickstart My Heart,
Really?
but I would take Wild Side over Feelgood.
I loved
See,
Kickstart at the time.
I
That was
love
the thing that
Kickstart.
cemented the album for me. But now it's just the song that gets played. If anything is suggesting or showing or the movie preview or anything, selling tickets, they do it with Kickstart My Heart. And I'm just so over it at this point.
I
It's
can
probably
see,
their
I can
most-
see it.
You know, not
But
recognizable, but the
that's-
song that's most associated.
But if you're Motley Crue and you're putting together a set list, right?
Yeah, it's going to be
What
in there.
song do you pull out? I'm just going to ask you.
what?
Kickstart? I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Kickstart or Same Old Situation?
Same old situation, hands down.
But
yeah.
yet they continue to play Same Old Situation.
But they never pull Kickstart My Heart.
No, they-
or Dr.
and they never
Feelgood.
will.
Right.
You know, they
But
never
they
will.
keep those three in there. They even do Don't Go Away, Mad Just Go Away,
Now,
which
I
I'm not
just-
surprised is kept in their set list for
Now,
so
I
long.
just saw them in
It is a
Atlantic
good
City.
song.
I
Yeah.
just saw them in Atlantic City a couple
Okay.
months ago. Didn't play it.
Really?
Nope.
Okay.
They didn't play it.
That's one of those ones that's like, but then they never do Without You, which I know you don't care
Yeah,
about.
I'm not
but
a big fan of
It
that
was a
one.
huge single.
It was.
It jumped up the charts. I don't even remember what it went to, but it was
It
definitely
was.
a top
But
40
to me,
single.
like I said, it feels like it's an out-of-tune
Out of tune
song. It's
What?
but I know it's slide guitar, so
Yeah.
whatever. It's a sitar. It makes it sound. I
Oh,
just
that
can't,
part of it.
I just
Yeah.
can't deal with the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, not big on that.
All right.
Same old. I'm
Okay.
going to read you the songs that I'm not particularly fond of on Feel Good,
Okay.
which is Rattlesnake Shake,
Love that song.
Love it.
Shake, Shake, Shake. No,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't.
Corny.
It
I
is.
love it. I
You
love
just
that
said
kind
it.
of
Corny.
Corny.
All right.
Yeah, but the beat, the rhythm of that.
Sticky Sweet.
Yes.
No.
Corny.
Corny. Thank you.
But I
No,
love. But
no.
see, but Anthony
No.
still loves it.
I will say I do like She Goes Down. I like
Who
that.
does not like that?
I don't
You
like-
guys watch it. Let me know. Is there anyone that
Yeah.
doesn't like
I like
that?
She Goes Down.
Oh,
Not big on Time for
if
Change.
I hear that zipper and that laugh,
Not
I got to turn the radio up.
not big on Time for Change.
I'm not so big on that either.
Not
I
big
could,
on
fucking
Slice Your
song.
Pie. So
I could deal without.
so
Time
now
for
when I'm
Change.
looking at this album,
Yeah.
I'm up to Feel Good.
Okay.
I like Kickstart. I like Don't
want
Go Away
Filey's?
Mad. I'm
Three
down
songs?
3 songs. That's
Wait,
it.
That's it.
That's really
And
all-
now out of
okay.
girls, girls, girls.
Out of Girls, Girls, Girls.
Are you accepting Nona?
Should we open that?
Is that like a real song?
I'm
Like,
not
I
even.
would
I'm
say
not even counting
Take
it.
that. I'll take Jailhouse
Yeah.
Rock off. We've only got 8 tracks
Okay.
on here.
I'm not even counting Nona because it's just like
Yeah.
a 47-second worth of garbage. And Jailhouse Rock's not even their song. So
Right,
we're
right.
not even.
Now, did they? Okay, somebody told me this. The reason they did Jailhouse Rock is because the title of the movie, Girls, 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 apparently was an Elvis Presley titled movie, and the character in that movie's name was Vince.
That would be the
I don't
first-
know. Somebody said that.
I know a lot about Motley. I've never heard
I-
that. So
I
you may
haven't
have just
either.
taught me something.
I'm not saying that's it. I'm just saying someone said it, and if that's true, it would make it a lot better. But in all the things I've ever read or heard about the band, I've never heard that.
Yeah, I never.
So
have
you
either.
being a diehard fan like me, I was just curious if you had ever heard it, and I'd like for someone out there to weigh in, because if it's true, that would make adding Jailhouse Rock a lot better. But again, why the live version? So we're dropping those. Nona and Jailhouse Rock. We got
Yeah.
8 tracks.
Okay, so
I still love the 8 tracks.
I
don't
love
get me
Wild
wrong.
Side.
Yeah.
I love Girls, Girls, Girls. Love the darkness of Dancing on Glass. Bad Boy Boogie.
I still like it.
I'll put that in the trash bin. 5 Years Dead.
That is a killer song.
All in the Name of Love. They used to use that as their opening track
Yeah.
of that tour. Great song. Something for Nothing.
I still dig it.
And You're All I Need. Phenomenal.
Okay, it is phenomenal except the lyrical content of it. The musical part of it and how it's sung, I think is awesome. It could have been their biggest single if it hadn't been about killing your girlfriend.
That was, but
And I understand that's
okay.
Motley Crue.
So,
It's
all
like-
right, but that song came out.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because
Yeah.
you may know this. Didn't that song come out before I Used to Love Her from Guns N' Roses?
Oh, I don't know that. 1988. All I know is
Yeah,
that the
so
video was
87.
banned and they couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't.
So this song
Right.
came out before Used to Love Her.
well, no, this is 88. Oh no, I'm sorry.
this
No,
album
you're right.
came
It's
out in
87.
87.
Yes.
Right.
So okay.
So this song came out before Used to Love Her. Same lyrical content.
Yes.
But Used to Love Her
But-
is a fantastic Guns N' Roses song. When it's played live,
Yeah.
the place goes nuts.
It does. Absolutely. It's a fucking great song.
Yeah.
I guess better song than this song. Yeah.
It's the same song.
No, it's just lyrical content is the same. They're both about killing your
Yeah.
girlfriend, but the Guns N' Roses one was tongue in cheek and it was just funny. It was also acoustic. It was something they had never done. It was released at the height of their career when people would have eaten anything up
But
for
this was that song was written off a true story, a real article in
Yeah,
California.
correct.
So
No, I know.
But
Okay,
it's-
but you look at it and you say, "Oh, you're all I need." This is a romantic ballad.
think.
Play for my girlfriend, and it's not that at all. And I'm just saying, it would have been a huge hit had it actually been a romantic song. You're all I need. Without the dark lyrical content, they could have had a bigger hit than Home Sweet Home, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Then the video gets banned, and they can't even promote it on MTV, so it's radio only, and it does nothing.
But what's more Motley than that?
Nothing. I'm in agreement that lyrically it is 100% Motley. It's Nikki Sixx. It's a strange topic. I sing along to it and I love the song and I'm like, yeah, but
I can't believe I'm sitting here
Sing-
singing
sing-
about killing my girlfriend.
Exactly.
And burying her in my backyard.
Yeah,
I love it.
exactly. So, I just have to. I love those 8 tracks.
Okay.
And how many are on Dr. Feelgood?
What do we
11.
got? Yes, something like that.
Right,
yeah.
okay. Time for Change, I would drop, but I love all the others. Although we can't take into account TNT at the beginning, right?
Yeah,
So it's 11 songs?
That's like the Nona version of Dr.
Right.
Feelgood.
All right, so we dropped that.
yeah.
There's 9 songs
Yeah.
on there that I like, so one more than this. But I'm not even going to go by song numbers.
Uh-huh.
The thing that I don't like about this is the production.
Okay.
It's too glossy for me. And I know it sounds strange putting it up against Dr. Feelgood, which is a very commercial, but it's got a heavier song. It's stronger. It's more punchy.
Agreed. Oh,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. As I said earlier,
Yeah.
sonically, feel good, because I think if there was no Dr. Feelgood, now we're probably gonna take this in a really bad direction, but if there was no Dr. Feelgood, there would have been no Metallica Black Album.
No, I don't think that's the case
I'm
at
going
all.
to tell you why, though, because the only reason why Bob Rock did
I know,
the Black Album is because Lars
Light.
wanted that drum
yes,
sound.
Yes. But I don't think that's the reason of the Black Album. I think that we would have gotten the commercial Metallica no matter what. It would have just wouldn't have had that heavy sound.
It
like
just
on
wouldn't have
Sad But
been
True.
that
Yes.
sonic
Right.
beast
That's
that it
correct.
is.
That's correct. And so maybe it wouldn't be the 17 million selling, album
Yeah.
that it is
Yeah, yeah.
today because of that. We still would have gotten commercial Metallica. We still would have had a big album. It was just the zeitgeist. It was the time, the moment, everything lined up
Agreed.
for both Crew and for
Yeah, I agree.
them. But if we didn't have Dr. Feelgood
Mm-hmm.
album, I'd have to put Theater of Pain up for maybe their best album.
I love this album as
Oh.
well. I get aggravated every time Nikki Sixx says, I can't stand that album.
Does he
I think-
really?
Yeah. I think this
Oh.
is a fantastic album.
I go back to this album more than any other. And that's really just because I wore out
Yeah.
Dr. Feelgood back in the day. I throw it on occasionally, but I know it inside and out, so I'm never thinking to myself, oh, I really want to hear Dr. Feelgood, right? But I didn't grow up with Theater of Pain. And this album here, which they don't play stuff on the radio other than Smoking in the Boys'
Yeah.
Room and Home Sweet Home, and they don't do anything else live.
Louder Than Hell you'll get.
On the
Yeah.
the farewell tour, right? They did
Yeah.
Louder Than Hell, but I've never seen anything else get played.
Yeah.
And so that's one of those albums that, at least for me, is not worn out.
Yes,
So
I agree.
I go back to this a lot, and I just think the sound of this
How you doing?
coming off of Shout at the Devil, they really hadn't, in my opinion, really hadn't defined themselves between like you said, a punk album with some glam rock influences, the full-on absolute metal album, right? And yes, this becomes the glam metal thing, but it's so heavy. It took everything from the debut, everything from the second one, mashed it up, in my opinion.
I agree. One of my favorite albums
Yeah,
of theirs.
I would definitely go with that. But all right, so Vito, thank you for coming
Thank
on
you.
the channel.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for doing a little debate with me on between Girls, Girls, Girls and Dr. Feelgood, 87, 89, some of the greatest era of I call it the glam metal era,
Yeah.
but just musical era.
It was a good time.
Right? It was a good time, right?
It sucks getting old.
Yeah, it's all going to happen. It's going to happen to you guys watching this too. But thanks for tuning in. Weigh in whether you like Motley Crue's Girls, Girls, Girls better or worse or the same than Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood.
Vote.
Vote. See you guys.